Welcome, you crazy kids, to episode 13, lucky 13, of Tater's Big Show Hangover. Happy you're here for one more round. Episode 13. I almost didn't hit record. I'll be honest with you. Just kind of wondering what I was going to talk to y'all about because nothing really big happened this week. We had Easter. That was nice. I hope you had a lovely Easter. Celebrated the holiday correctly. We all got together over at my brother's house. So I spent the weekend doing some cleaning, some light cleaning, laundry, and getting my contribution to the Easter brunch together. I'm glad they don't make it too tricky for me. I had to bring fruit, which took me forever to prepare. I'm not domestic. Peeling and slicing and dicing, but it was a big hit. They're so kind to me. It's spring break for a lot of kids. I know my 3 young nephews are on spring break this week. A lot of people get that right around Easter. My college nephew, his spring break was earlier, so he's back in class. And my 2 older nieces, they're back at work. Upset about not having spring break anymore. Real life kind of sucks sometimes. I'm right there with you guys. So my 9-year-old nephew wants to spend a little bit of his spring break with me, and later today we are going to go antiquing. Yes, Twin C would like to go antiquing. He's a 45-year-old man caught in a 9-year-old's body. And he would like to go do, it's American Pickers, really. He likes to go do some picking, except we're going to a store and not to somebody's barn or garage. I just envision myself walking behind C saying, like, excuse me, sir, what are we looking for here? A butter churn? What's happening right now? What antique are you looking for? Is it an old picture, some old lamp? There's a lot of dusty stuff in here. And he's looking for baseball stuff, anything that has to do with baseball. He's also looking for good deals on Pirates of the Caribbean, any of that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to go do, and then going to go have some lunch. So I'm thinking that my life is boring, but it's not. I got some stuff going on. We'll see how that goes, and I'll have an update for you as far as our purchases. I can't wait to watch him wheel and deal and get a steal, Little guy, little cute guy. Bet he'll be able to haggle him. Getting to some listener comments, and I appreciate every single one of them. Vicky Joyce King, who is a loyal commenter. She writes, any chance we can get a replay of Carl Childers and the folks from the Nervous Hospital at the baseball game? Carl was great. Oh my gosh, Vicky. It's like we're on the same page because I was talking about this with Pillars. And since Pillars couldn't or didn't want to shred his voice anymore when we were having our little interview, our little get together, our coffee with coworkers, I found the Playhouse that you're talking about. And I think we can turn it back and hear what he was talking about how he had to do that Carl voice. And it was a Playhouse. And this Playhouse is titled Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Welcome to John Boy and Billy Playhouse. Today's episode, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. As our story opens, Carl Childers is sitting before Dr. Marcy Ernsberger and the Millsburg Psychiatric Hospital Review Board.
Carl, I want to thank you for coming in today. You know why you're here, don't you?
Are you from Bosom? Yes'm. We're having our picture taken for the fall collage.
No, that's next week.
Yes, ma'am. And this must be about Mr. Perkins being in hot water for something or other.
That's right. Carl, can you tell me what happened last weekend?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Perkins from the Nervous Hospital there. He thought he'd carry a bunch of us out to the ball game. He worked out a little code, I guess you'd call it, so he could sort of talk to all of us at one time.
What sort of code did he come up with, Carl?
Well, it was pretty easy, I reckon. When he wanted all of us to come along with him, he'd say, "Go, nuts." We'd follow right after him. When he wanted us to stop, he'd holler, "Stop, nuts."
Well, I think that's offensive. That seems rather politically incorrect, if you ask me. Didn't it bother you that he called you nuts?
No, ma'am. We ain't exactly spending time in the nervous hospital for the food.
Okay, point taken. Well, what happened next?
Well, it was a pretty good game, all right. But for the fellers who couldn't tell the difference, Mr. Perkins would let us know when to cheer and what not.
Really?
Yes'm. When our team was a-winning, he'd say, cheer, nuts. We'd all whoop and holler and make all kinds of noise. When our team was falling behind, he'd say, boo, nuts. We'd all really give them fellers what for.
Well, it sounds like you had a lovely time.
Yes, ma'am. I had French fried potatoes.
Yes, I see. But something else happened at the game, didn't it?
Yes, ma'am. I had me a soda pop, too.
No, Carl, something else. Something that shouldn't have happened. Something unpleasant.
Yes'm. I reckon I know what you're talking about. But we were just doing what we was told.
Well, Carl, without going into graphic detail, do you think you could tell the review board what happened?
I remember most of it. Seemed like Mr. Perkins got a hankering for a hot dog. He got up, wandered off to the hot dog feller Summers, and said, stay, nuts. Well, ma'am, everything just fine and dandy until that feller in the striped vest showed up.
What did the man in the striped vest do?
Well, sir, he stood right there in front of us and started yelling, peanuts, peanuts.
We hope you've enjoyed John Boy and Billy Playhouse.
I did the best I could. What with that soda pop and all.
Tune in again next time when we hear the crusty old peanut vendor at the ballpark concession stand say,
Hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Are you a bounty hunter, little feller?
Robert Taylor writes, I love the podcast. I love that you love the podcast. Thanks for keeping the memories alive in all of our hearts. There is a skit that has always puzzled me that I hope you can clear up. Ooh, I'm going to try. When they called their agent Murray, John Boy would greet the receptionist, a.k.a. Billy. It sounded like he'd say, is this Miss Zapesto? Then, as he would be chatting with her, it sounded like he called her Seal. I've always wondered why he called her by two different names as he is speaking to her. Can you shed some light on this? Thanks. Well, yeah. I mean, John Boy was using the polite businesses, and you had polite exchange. He would say, is this Miss DiPesto? D-I-P-E-S-T-O. Is this Miss DiPesto? And then whenever he would start talking to her, now they're casual, they know each other, then he would call her by her first name, which was Seal, C-E-I-L, Seal DiPesto. I'm not sure. I think maybe the only thing I could think of, the only other DiPesto I knew was from the Moonlighting from back in 1985. Their receptionist was Agnes DiPesto, Blue Moon Detective Agency. Well, actually, she was kind of like, Blue Moon Detective Agency. Remember that show with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd? That was a really good show. So Miss DiPesto is Miss Seal DiPesto. And he was just being polite on the phone.
Hello, is this Jimbo and Bobby?
Yes, it is. Is this Mr. Pesto?
Yes, it is. But I should state up front, I am not calling you in my official capacity with the Red Hot Talent Agency.
Wow, I can't believe this.
What, that I'm calling you personally instead of professionally?
No, that somebody over there actually has our phone number.
To be honest with you, I didn't actually have it either. I had to call and get it from the lunch menu man.
I should have known. Hey, how is the lunch menu man?
Oh, he's fine. And Dandy?
What is he doing lately? Wait a minute. Let me guess. Reading lunch menus in a funny voice?
Well, at least he's not spewing venomous garbage at women, jeering at the caring, nurturing 50% of humanity, you loudmouth, domineering, male Nazi redneck jerks!
So, you mean he's not reading lunch menus?
Yes, you idiot! I'm trying to make a point here!
Okay, all right. So what would that be?
That men are pigs! You ought to know you're the ringleaders!
We are?
Oh, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Dogs are better than women, huh? Let me tell you something, Curly. You think you got it bad now? Lorena Bobbitt was just the beginning, Tom.
Oh, Seal, are you okay?
Oh, sorry. I'm just coming off a bad relationship. I'm still a little sensitive. Margie, my counselor, Jenny Craig, says I swallow a lot of aggression, along with a lot of half pints of Haagen-Dazs. She said I should learn how to express my anger instead of holding it in.
Well, we think you're doing a bang-up job so far.
You really think so?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Margie said it might help deal with my feelings if I'd write some of them down and then maybe share them with someone who's symbolic of the domineering male authority that I resent.
Let me guess. Murray's in the Bahamas this week, so you called us.
Do you mind? He never calls in for his messages.
Sure, Seal. Vent away, baby.
Thanks. Okay, here's what I wrote. My personal affirmation.
Okay.
I call it, Why Cats Are Better Than Men.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Cats know how to hunt their own food. Cats always land on their feet. Cats never beg to take a shower with you. A cat will lay down on the bed beside you quietly while you watch Oprah. If you yell at a cat, it won't ask if you have your period. When a cat comes home after being gone for 3 days and starts rubbing up against you, there's never liquor on his breath. And finally, if a cat gets on your nerves, you can tie it in a sack and throw it off a bridge.
Oh.
That's it. What do you think?
Sounds like there's a lot going on in there, Seal.
I know, but, believe it or not, I feel a lot better.
Oh, good.
Thanks for letting me purge. I think I'm really close to a breakthrough here. And may I say, I can't believe how mature my voice is. This is how I sound. Listen, I gotta run. I got my morning session with Margie in 30 minutes.
Right.
Give my love to Bobby.
That's Billy.
Him too. And Jimbo.
What?
I forget what Murray always says. Oh, yeah, call me.
I had this phase during my career where I thought, I need a little extra cash, right? A little pocket money, some walking around money, something, a job that would be flexible, that works with my schedule, something I can do in the middle of the day or whenever I'm available or feel like it. So I thought, dog walking, right? How hard could that be? No disrespect, but I've got dogs. I've got experience right there. Easy to parlay over into. So there's these dog walking apps. You may use one. And they're great. A lot of the millennial and Gen Zers use this because I'm a Generation X and there was a whole big thing about no one in, no one out, don't talk to strangers, all that kind of thing. And well, the next generations were all about hopping into cars with Uber that people they don't know and letting people into their house that they don't know. So I figured I was pretty trustworthy and I'd be perfect for this job. So there's these dog walking apps that you sign up for. And as a walker, I put in information about myself and then they link me up with people who are looking for walks. And now they do it through their membership. They might get like 3 free walks and then they pay a certain amount of money and then they get however many walks a month that they want to do. You get paired up. You are in there. They need a walk. And it flashes up on my app. And I go, I can walk. I can do that. 2:30 walk. I can do that. So then they get all the prospective dog walkers. And then they read through the profiles and also see how close they are to their home. And then they also look at your ratings because past walks can rate and leave comments. So it's very much in the times. And once you get picked, you get all the information that you need. You get the exact address. You're put in contact with the owner. They tell you how to get into their house, whether it's a lockbox or they've hidden the key. They tell you where the dog's things are, where the dog is located. Even if they need you to feed and change out the water bowls, give them a treat after, all these kind of things. There are all these little add-ons that they may need you to do. And the first couple times it was weird because it'd be like, my dog is in my bedroom, go in there and get the dog and then, put the water bowl back in the bedroom. And it took a while to get comfortable with like wandering around in people's houses. I'm not saying that I was doing anything wrong. It just was like, kind of eerie that someone would just let a stranger into their house to go do that. But that was on them, not on me. I knew what I was doing. I knew I was honest. So, you start the walk on the app. Communicates with the owner and it shows your GPS and it shows where you're walking your dog. Several times I kind of walked in circles and I didn't know where I was. So I would just kind of walk around the building. And all I kept thinking about is like them seeing the red line just going round and round their building for a 20-minute walk. But anyway, their dog was out, is getting walked. And you would drop pins. So if the dog peed, you drop a pin. It let them know the dog did its business. And then it was like, it pooped, drop a pin. So now they know the dog peed and pooped. You could take a video of the dog. You send pictures all through the app, updated on what's going on with their dog. One time I was walking the dog and I'd been doing it a while that I now was getting appointments set like a week out. So I show up at the owner's house and she said the key's under the door, and I got the key out and opened the door, and her instructions were that there's a dog. She had 2 dogs, one dog in the front room and another dog in the bedroom, both in crates. Their leashes were on the kitchen table with treats. And I was to walk them for 30 minutes. And when I was done, to please refresh their water, give them the treats that are on the counter. Now, I was very tater-like. After each walk, I would leave a little note, and I'd leave a little packaged bone. It was wrapped, so they knew that I didn't tamper with it. So that's how much I overthink it. So I get into this house, and there's the dog. It's in the crate in the front room. And so I go to look for the other dog, and I go upstairs where the bedroom was, and there's not a dog in there. So now I'm kind of perplexed. I was like, well, did she take the dog with her? Like maybe there wasn't a vet appointment, or maybe it woke up sick and she needed to take it in and didn't update because it was a week-old appointment. So maybe she didn't think to let me know. So I'd send her a text saying, hey, don't know where your other dog is, not to alarm you. Did you by chance take it with you? So I get the other dog out, leash her up. Leashes are right there on the table. I take her out for a walk. So then the owner texts me back, said, nah, she's there. I'm like, well, that's strange. So I walk back to the house, go back and look in every room looking for this other dog. And I'm just really like, can't figure it out. So she calls me, which was great because I was getting ready to call her. And I said, this is just strange. I don't know. I guess your dog is hiding. I don't really understand. And she said, well, maybe it got in the garage when I left. Doesn't sound like her, but maybe she snuck out, or and they escaped really quick when she was closing the door, and then she was there. So she started getting a little panic because like maybe the dog escaped through the garage door. So I said, well, let's just wait. Let's just look. All right. So I'm at your front door. Right. Help me here. I was like, I'm right here. There's the crate. She's like, yes. I said, that's the other dog. I said, then to my right is a closet. She's like, yes. I said, then there's the pantry. She's like, yes. And then I said, and then there's the stairs. And she said, no, it's the garage. I said, garage? There's no garage. What? Am I in the wrong house? I'm in the wrong house. Oh my God. I start screaming in the phone. She's horse laughing me. I'm like, wow, am I in the wrong house? Everything is the same. Everything's the same. You got the stuff on the table. You got the dog in the crate. I don't understand. So I start backing out of the house. The leash goes back on the table. And I'm trying to get this dog. Dog does not want to go back in the crate. I'm like, get back in the crate. Get back in the crate. Get back in the crate. Finally got the dog, get back in the crate. And I put the blanket back over the crate. And then I'm like, I'm wiping fingerprints off everything. I am freaking out. And I'm backing out of this house. Backing up. Wiping hands. Wiping. I get out the front door. Boom. Get into my car. I drive out of the neighborhood. I'm so freaked out. Everything is flooded into my head. I'm like, how am I in the wrong house? I call her back. She's still laughing. And I can hear her. She must be on a business trip. There's other people in the car. They're laughing. I don't find it funny whatsoever. I gotta find it funny now. But Mom did not find it funny. And I said, all right, I'm going back into your neighborhood. Because she still wants her dog walked. At this point, if it were me, I'd have been like, yeah, good. You're good. Go ahead. I don't need you helping me. But she said she still wants me to walk her dogs. So I pulled back into the neighborhood. And I was like, all right, I just pulled into the neighborhood. She goes, my house is right there on the left. And there was kind of like a medium in it. It was a mixed neighborhood, meaning there were houses and townhomes and duplexes in this neighborhood. So it was like a mixed, what do you call that? Mixed single family homes. I turned to the left. I'm like, I even GPS this. And I looked to the left and I'm like, okay. And I turned to the left and I'm like, I'm back here at 106. She said, no, I'm not on. I was on the wrong street. Literally, it was right. Like the GPS had me turn left, which I read as turn left on this street. But the GPS wanted me to turn left to the house. But there was a big median, big landscaped thing, so I just read it as turn left on the road, but I needed to turn left and U-turn, around this big landscape thing and then turn right into her driveway, which I did with her on the phone, and 106 right there on her door. These two houses, one was a house, one was a townhome, were literally like 2 doors down from each other. Their backyards met, I would imagine. I never went back there to look, but I imagine their backyards met or her driveway met. I can't even imagine how it was back there. So I go in her house, key under the mat, brand new home, dog in the crate in the front room, totally looked different than the townhome. But I turned to the left, there was the bedroom with the other dog in it. And sure enough, door, there was the garage. So now I take the dogs out. And I'm spent. I got to walk for 30 minutes. I've just had the adrenaline shoot through the roof. So now I got to walk these dogs. And I had already started the walk with the other dog. So I stopped all that. And I said, look, I'm going to walk your dog for 30 minutes or longer. Whatever you need. Do not report me to the authorities. So I was like, whatever you need. And she's like, you are fine. Appreciate you walking the dog. She leaves me a very nice review and a tip. And she said she's very funny and easy to communicate with. She left out the B&E. Oh, and I have to say, I gave up my dog walking app days right after that. Just going to stick to radio. Do y'all know that Dolly Parton had a birthday and she is now 80 years old? She's in People magazine bearing her midriff in a denim crop top and flared blue jeans. She looks amazing. I am not 80 and I do not look like this. I have hope. I know that she works hard and has good genes and good doctors. As she has said, takes a lot of money to look that cheap, but she looks really good for 80. So we had her on the show. It was one of those ones that I got to book. And another time that she had tried to be on the phone with us. And her cell phone kept breaking up because she was on the tour bus and going through the mountains. And her phone kept breaking up. And we lost the interview. And you just have to keep going on with the show. And we received a fax from her. Back when she had a fax on her tour bus, fax machine. We weren't texting yet, so I know it was before the iPhones or before we all had the iPhones. And so we received a fax with her apologizing for her phone dropping out. How amazing is that? That's where, see, I want to be like Dolly. That's why I would leave little notes when I would walk the wrong dog. Yeah, I think the first time that they talked to her was on the phone, and that was like August of 2001. And then she came through Charlotte in the summer of 2009. 17 years ago? Might be off a year or two, but 17 years ago. It sounds like it just happened yesterday.
Good morning. The Big Show is on the radio. That's so cool. Dolly Parton has seen a picture of us.
On a barbecue sauce bottle.
Yeah. Perfect. Dolly, oh, man, what a pleasure it is to have you here in the studio with us.
Well, thank you. I've talked to you on the phone. I've seen your pictures everywhere. I hear about you all the time, and this is a big honor for me to be here with you, too.
Oh, man.
Truly, it is.
Unbelievable. Man, did you know the clone sheep was named after you?
Yes, I did. And did you know why?
Something about dividing the cells out of the mammary gland?
Yeah, they did. And I thought that wasn't bad. But anyway, that's true. They call her Dolly. And I thought, well, so what? It's a nice honor. Especially she was a first, anyhow. But I see a lot of clones of me down on Santa Monica Boulevard. Halloween, all the boys down there dressed like me.
Hey, is it true that you once lost a Dolly Parton lookalike contest?
Yes, down on Santa Monica. They thought, but they did. A lot of people did say, but you're the best one I've ever seen. But when you lose in a Dolly Parton contest, you ain't doing too good, are you?
Wow, talk about, your beauty. Of course, we've seen pictures of you, but golly, does she radiate, guys? Do you see that?
You think? Well, thank you.
Dolly's radiation.
Thank you. I got on my go hair today, not my show hair. So I kind of, we traveled from D.C. last night. We did a show there at a little club called the 930 Club. And so we just drove our bus down here and parked out in your parking lot till you came on the air. And so here we are.
Yeah. Man, we have a lot of musicians, travel around and go, all night and drive and get every. No, they haven't. Please.
Yeah.
Help me. Wow. If that's the way you look after riding all night, I'd...
Oh, I got up early and fixed up for you.
Yeah, she took her bus hair off and put her go hair on.
That's right. My bus hair. Yeah, my bus hair was bad.
Oh, man. Dolly, talking about you born and raised up there in it was Sevier County?
Yeah,
Tennessee?
Sevier County. Sevierville is our county seat there. And then I grew up, or was born in an area called Locust Ridge up in the Pittman Center area.
Uh-huh. And, like, you started, I mean, like, you know, how old were you when you first started, like, singing?
Well, I started playing the guitar when I was about 7. I started writing some serious songs then. I started singing on radio and television when I was 10.
Right.
And I've been dead serious about it ever since then.
And, then, of course, I remember you sitting around with the family watching you and Porter Wagner.
Yeah, I
just...
started with him. Porter, for those out there listening that don't know, Porter was one of the old-time greats of country music. Still is, actually. He's still on the Grand Ole Opry, but he had one of the first syndicated television shows that was very successful. And I got a lucky break in 1966 and started with his show when the girl singer on his show had married and moved away. And so that was kind of like my lucky break. And I started in 66 and stayed there till, I think, 72, 73. Yeah.
Wow. And then,
we had a lot of duets together.
Yeah. What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite that you and Porter did?
Yeah, I think Old Time Preacher Man, which was a song I wrote, and it was about my grandpa, who was a Pentecostal preacher. But we had one of our biggest country records on Old Time Preacher Man. As a duet.
And the Coat of Many Colors, we remember that. Is that? I mean, I guess that was a true story. I mean, because your mom had to put stuff together, and the kids made fun of you.
Well, a lot of kids make fun. A lot of people were poor back in our parts. Well, there were 12 of us kids. There's 6 girls and 6 boys in my family. And Mama just had to do the best she could. She was just one of those mamas that could just cook anything, make it taste good, make anything, and make you feel good about it.
Yeah.
So she told me the story about Joseph and the Coat of Many Colors. You know, when she'd made this little ragged coat that I had to wear because I really needed the coat. But I thought I looked like Joseph because Mama said I did. And I couldn't wait to get to school. But when I got to school, the kids didn't think I looked a lot like Joseph. And so they made fun of me, and I was mad at Mom, and I was hurt and all that. But she had told me at that time, I said, you said I look good, and they said we was poor. And she said, well, we're not poor because we got stuff money don't buy anyhow, love and kindness. And so years later, that memory had hurt me and the embarrassment of it. And I wrote the little song, Coat of Many Colors, after I was grown. And after it became a big hit, that hurt left me. Ain't it amazing how healing money can be?
I tell you, unbelievable with the things you got going on here.
Well, we got a lot of stuff going this summer. I'm back on the road for the first time in 10 years. I put a group together called the Blue Neeks. I was kind of playing off of like unique bluegrass because we've been doing a lot of bluegrass stuff in the last 3 or 4 years, and we've had a lot of success with that. So we're just kind of out promoting a new CD that we got out, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, today.
Yes, we
called
will.
Halos and Horns.
Halos and Horns.
And I think that kind of fits everybody. It's kind of like we're all too good to be bad and too bad to be good, so we're caught somewhere in between, like those vanilla sinners. So that's kind of like what that story's about.
Man. Yeah, speaking of horns, did you see Michael Jackson was calling the music industry racist the other day?
No, I didn't see that.
Him and Al Sharpton? Yeah. He drew horns on the little president of Sony Music or something
really?
like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave him to it. I ain't got no comment on that.
Tell me the bluegrass deal, man. I like the cover you did on Shine.
Oh, thank you. That was
neat.
last year's album. We had an album out called Little Sparrow, and Collective Soul had that song out, as you well know, I'm sure. And it was just one of my favorites, and my husband loved it. And I thought, well, that sounds like a gospel song to me, something I could do. And so when we started doing little bluegrass flavors on some of the stuff, I thought maybe that's how I can get away with doing that song instead of doing it rock, just kind of replace some of the electric instruments with some of these bluegrass. We won a Grammy on it. And yeah, I was real pleased with that.
And you're doing kind of the same idea with Stairway to Heaven on this album.
Well, that one, I really stretched myself on that. People say, what the hell are you thinking? I said, well, I had all these Led Zeppelin albums because my husband loves either hard rock, acid rock, or bluegrass.
Right.
And he's always playing Led Zeppelin, and he loved that song, and I've just always heard it, and I loved it as well. And one day I got the lead out. Said, come on, boys.
Now, I hear you were kind of nervous because you had to actually talk to Robert Plant and Jimmy Page about, so you changed the lyric or something like that?
Well,
and you had to get their permission?
Yeah, I did. Anytime you kind of add anything different or change anything in any way, you have to get the permission from the publisher as well as the writers. I had just thrown in a few little ad-libs because I had added a choir, and I wanted to make it a little bit more like it was maybe a bit more of a spiritual song than it probably was, or gospel. And so I just threw in a few lines to kind of, and so I had to send it to them, and I didn't hear back, and I thought, oh my Lord, they're not going to let me do this song. They're not going to let me do it. And we were already ready with our artwork and all, and I didn't hear back. And so finally, one day, we got the call that they'd been out of town, and they had heard it, and they liked it, and they sent word back, and boy, I was sweating bullets, because I was really hoping that they would like it, because anytime you mess with a classic like that, you're going to be up for criticism or being crucified. And I thought, what are they going to say, period? Are they going to like it or not like it? But I even got a message just the other day from Jimmy, and he really liked it, and Robert, who I'm crazy about, I heard that he really loved the fact that I had put the choir on it, that he'd always heard it more like a gospel thing as well. So anyhow, I figure if it passed them, hopefully it'll get by a few others.
Man, all the people you know, Dolly, and like through your career, do you have any like favorites? I mean, like who are your very close friends that names that we would know?
Well, I've, of course, from that old school, so a lot of my older friends in the business are people I've always loved that are great writers, and friends that I've sat with for years, like Willie and Waylon. Of course, I loved Waylon. I'd always wanted to cut an album with Waylon, and I missed my chance. But, of course, like I say, I know all the great ones, but some of the new ones that I love and enjoy their company as well as their music is like Alison Krauss and Faith Hill. Yeah, they're sweet people, and there's a lot of good ones out there. And so I just like everybody.
Who are you close to that we would be surprised that you even know them, much less that you're close to them?
Well, I don't know.
Because I know you meet so many people.
Knows everybody.
That's true. I know everybody. I've worked with all the people, not just in the music business, but I've been lucky in my career that I've got to also work with people like Stallone and Burt Reynolds and people, in the business, but and Julia Roberts when we did Steel Magnolias. But I don't know that there's anybody that it would surprise you that I'd be friends with, because I'm a hillbilly. I like everybody. Bring them on.
That's Steel Magnolias. Kato here. That's the one we come in from the farm and the girls are all sitting around crying, watching. Just love it.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's
People
like,
just love that old sappy stuff, and I do too. In fact, that scene in Steel Magnolias where we did the graveyard scene with Sally Field, where she, that to me, we spent like 2 or 3 days doing that out at the graveyard, and I was really serious because there had been a little girl that had actually been on the set that had been ill, and she had died while we were doing the movie, and they had buried her shortly. Just a short distance from where we were actually doing the scene. And you could still see that mound of the grave. And so when we were doing that scene, we were all so touched because we had loved this little girl. And, they had brought her down as just one of her wishes. Right. And she had passed, and we were all so emotional. And so when Sally would go into that whole thing, we were sincerely crying. We didn't have to have ammonia beads blown in our eyes or anything like sometimes you do. We were seriously crying. And then when she pushed the girl out and said, "Hit Weezer," she said, "I just want to hit something." And she said, "Hit her." Everybody wants to hit her. I mean, it's like our laughter and stuff was great, but it was wonderful working with all those ladies.
That's something. And when you start acting, did you have to take acting class, or is this just another something that just comes natural to you?
Well, I didn't take any classes. In fact, I'd never even seen a movie made when I did 9 to 5.
So that was your first, and you'd never seen a movie made?
Never seen it made, didn't know anything about it, and I just kind of, but I've still never had an acting lesson. But I just play parts that are natural for me, and I just try to do it as if somebody was talking to me rather than trying to make it sound like I'm reading it off of a paper. I just memorize my lines, and then I just deliver them like I'm talking to you now.
Man.
So it's like I just look at you and think, well, how would I talk to you like that?
That's the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah. When you get to be a big star, a big movie star, you're already a big radio star.
Oh, man. Well, Dolly, this is so cool, too, because we play a game, Dollywood Squares. It's like the Hollywood Squares.
Oh, that's
two
clever.
Contestants. So I know, and then here you are, so you're going to play
here
it with us.
I am, dressed in my Fredericks of Dollywood.
Fredericks of Dollywood.
Ready to play Dollywood Squares.
Perfect.
Well, I think ending on Dolly is a perfect spot for episode 13 to end. Thank you all so much for being here, and keep the comments coming because you helped me remember the 30 years that I was involved with that show, and I need a little help with the memory, little memory jargon, little jog the memory. I appreciate it. All right, let me go put my walking shoes on. I've got to follow 2 nephew twins around the antique mall as we pick out new items to them. I love those guys. We'll see you soon. I'll also want to give a big thank you to Barry. Barry has had to work really hard on this studio because I keep breaking things. So thank you to him. Thank you to my friends for supporting me and to my family for all of the laughs you gave me over the weekend and for taking me shopping with you. And to John Boy and Billy for allowing me to use their bits, which are all available in the bit box at thebigshow.com. And if you haven't seen it, John Boy has been working very hard over at the John Boy and Billy Big Show Facebook page. Go check it out. We'll see you next week.